alert your body could be on the brink of collapse. Imagine this chilling scenario. You wake up tomorrow, try to swing your legs out of bed, and suddenly agony. Your joints scream in pain, your knees buckle, and every movement sends fiery jolts through your body. You thought it was just a harmless ache yesterday, easy to brush off amid your busy routine, but that one moment of carelessness has set a devastating chain reaction in motion. Here's the terrifying truth. Every minute you ignore these minor aches and stiffness, inflammation quietly spreads like wildfire, eroding your joints from within. It doesn't stop there. This stealthy inflammation is silently assaulting your heart, weakening your arteries, and setting the stage for catastrophic events: a sudden stroke, a crippling heart attack. Real nightmares that could become your reality at any moment. Visualize yourself desperately fumbling to hold a coffee mug, your fingers stiff and helpless. Imagine being stranded at the foot of your staircase, every step upward, an insurmountable obstacle. Those once trivial inconveniences rapidly escalate into full-blown disabilities. Meanwhile, invisible damage deepens, threatening your cardiovascular system with every heartbeat. Are you prepared to gamble your life and independence on ignoring these symptoms just a bit longer? Your next move could be your last chance. Watch closely, because in the minutes ahead, you'll discover exactly how to halt this silent destruction before it's too late. One of my older patients, who we'll call Karen, age 68, almost overlooked these red flags. She spent years coping with mild arthritis pain using over-the-counter pills, figuring it was just part of getting older. Then, while on vacation, she noticed a sharp shooting flare in her left knee that made it impossible to finish a short walk along the beach. The discomfort was so excruciating, she cut her trip short. When she finally visited the clinic, scans revealed deteriorating cartilage and advanced inflammation spreading to other joints. Her physician also found that her blood pressure had quietly crept into dangerous territory. It was a double whammy. Her arthritic flare-ups and underlying cardiovascular issues were running on parallel tracks, feeding into each other. But there was a ray of hope. Once Karen learned how to make a few strategic changes, some of which I'll share with you today, she regained mobility and started stabilizing her cardiovascular health. Don't wait to land in a doctor's office with a grim diagnosis. Karen's story proves that the body often signals for help long before a full-blown crisis. It might begin with persistent aches, mild fatigue, or subtle swelling that you attribute to getting old. Yet ignoring it is the biggest gamble. The stakes are too high, as no one wants to realize too late that they're teetering on the brink of an emergency hospital visit. Today, I'm going to show you precisely how to seize control, diffuse that silent inflammation, and help your body shield itself from joint breakdown and potential heart danger. Science of arthritis and inflammation, the basics. Before we dive into the 3 game-changing foods that can help curb arthritic pain and might also fortify your body against serious cardiovascular threats, let's clarify how inflammation works. In arthritis, whether it's osteoarthritis or rheumatoid arthritis, your immune system goes into overdrive, attacking joint tissues and causing swelling, stiffness, and debilitating discomfort. When that inflammation lingers unchecked, it can produce substances that degrade cartilage-damaged tissues and sometimes lead to complications in other organs. The connection to cardiovascular issues is rooted in the concept that systemic inflammation doesn't stay confined to a single spot. According to the World Health Organization, Dr. Maria Neira, Director Public Health and Environment Department, WHO, in a 2021 report, chronic inflammatory conditions can exacerbate underlying vulnerabilities in the cardiovascular system. In other words, if your body is inflamed from the inside out, your heart and arteries can bear the brunt. That's why controlling joint inflammation is about much more than comfort. Your overall survival might be on the line. Dr. Michael Greger, physician and founder of Nutrition Facts, org, referencing a 2020 meta-analysis in Nutrients, has noted that diets heavy in processed meats or saturated fats can stoke the embers of inflammation, while plant-based staples tend to extinguish them. The Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health Department of Nutrition 2019 study also highlights that certain legumes, beans, and soy products offer essential compounds like fiber, magnesium, or antioxidants that help regulate inflammatory responses and protect the cardiovascular system. These findings align perfectly with what we'll cover in this video, as I introduce you to three specific plant-based powerhouses that might turn the tide on arthritic pain without busting your budget. The missing spark: how could this get worse? Most people with arthritis fear that the pain will never ease. But an even bigger worry should be how untreated inflammation can amplify your risk of coronary blockage or stroke. That's the dangerous synergy people often overlook. While conventional treatments might temporarily mask arthritic symptoms, they usually don't address the deeper question: are your joints and heart heading for a cliff? Unless you take targeted steps, it's like quietly ignoring a small crack in your car's engine block. One day that crack may rupture, leaving you stranded or worse. Today's story is more than just eat healthy. I want you to feel the urgency. Failing to act can set you up for crippling arthritic flares that confine you to bed, plus creeping cardiovascular changes that may lead to a potentially fatal event down the road. Fortunately, the three foods we'll discuss, lentils, chickpeas, and tofu, are more powerful than you think. They may reduce your pain and also neutralize some of the hidden factors that can drive up your blood pressure, cholesterol, and overall heart risk. I saw a case study from a foreign James 54 office worker. Take James as an example. He's 54 and works long hours at a tech firm. Because of constant deadlines, he relied on fast food lunches and rarely exercised except for the occasional weekend jog. Initially, James noticed some stiffness in his hands, blaming it on too much time at a keyboard. But then his doctor mentioned that his cholesterol was climbing and his joints were becoming inflamed. He faced a pivotal choice: keep ignoring the signals or make a change. After discussing a simple dietary shift with his physician, James decided to incorporate plant-based proteins for lunch instead of hamburgers and fries. Within a few weeks, he reported not only less discomfort in his hands, but also improved lab results for his cholesterol profile. The changes were subtle at first, but they built momentum. By the 3-month mark, he lost a few pounds, his joint flare-ups diminished, and his doctor noted healthier blood pressure readings. James's story illustrates how addressing arthritis is rarely about just the joints. Everything in your body is interconnected. Making one change, like introducing lentils or chickpeas, can create a ripple effect, gradually quelling inflammation, reducing pain, and boosting your cardiovascular health. Now let's detail the first protective weapon: lentils. Lentils, the quiet giant of anti-inflammatory nutrition. They may seem humble, but these tiny legumes can pack a surprisingly potent punch. Their nutrient composition can calm joint inflammation and help rebuild tissues. While lentils often star in soups or stews, they provide a strategic advantage far beyond basic protein. One major reason lentils are particularly valuable for those wrestling with arthritis is their rich content of magnesium. Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health Department of Nutrition 2021 brief reminds us that magnesium plays a key role in neuromuscular function, helping muscles relax and reducing tension on the skeletal system. When your muscles ease up, your joints aren't forced to bear unnecessary strain, which can reduce the burden of chronic pain. Additionally, lentils offer potassium, a mineral vital for fluid balance. Retaining excessive salt can worsen swelling in arthritic joints. By encouraging the excretion of sodium, potassium helps limit puffiness around the knees, hands, or other regions prone to flare-ups. Less swelling frequently translates into less pain, giving you the freedom to move more comfortably. Their fiber content is the unsung hero. Spikes in blood sugar can worsen inflammation, yet the soluble fiber in lentils helps moderate glucose absorption. A steadier blood sugar curve means fewer inflammatory surges, which can be critical in preventing acute arthritic flares. Think about folate, often overshadowed by other nutrients, but invaluable for regulating homocysteine, an amino acid linked to inflammatory processes. When homocysteine levels climb, they can contribute to vascular damage and intensify arthritic swelling. Lentils supply substantial folate, offering a buffer against these damaging effects. Still unsure how to integrate lentils into daily life? Start with a simple lentil soup. If you prefer creative flavors, cook them in a curry with turmeric, onions, and ginger. Want something cool for a hot day? Try a lentil salad with chopped tomatoes, cucumbers, and olive oil. Even if you've never cooked lentils before, don't worry, they require minimal preparation time. Unlike some other legumes, they rarely need an overnight soak. After a quick rinse, simmer them in water or broth for about 20-30 minutes and you're set. Worried about that dreaded heavy feeling after a big meal? Lentils tend to be quite gentle on digestion. Many people say they feel energized, not sluggish, after a lentil-based dish. That can be a game changer for arthritis sufferers who need consistent energy to keep muscles and joints active throughout the day. For those who really want to amplify the anti-inflammatory impact, pair lentils with fresh greens or a pinch of turmeric. According to a 2018 review in the Journal of Medicinal Food, turmeric's active compound curcumin offers promising relief for inflammatory conditions. When combined with lentils, you get a nutritional synergy that can bolster joint health. But let's not forget practicality. Lentils are budget-friendly, widely available, and easily stored. You don't need to hunt for specialty products or break the bank. That convenience is what makes lentils such a stellar daily ally for people tackling arthritis or looking to strengthen heart resilience. Case study. For 2. Margaret, 72, retired teacher. Margaret taught high school math for over 40 years, always standing for long hours and writing on the chalkboard. By her early 70s, her left hip and wrists ached constantly. She found short-term relief in pain meds, but the side effects like stomach upset were too much to handle. At her annual checkup, her physician suggested focusing more on plant-based sources of magnesium and folate, highlighting lentils. Margaret started incorporating them into stews and salads just 3 times per week. 2 months later, she noticed less morning stiffness, and her granddaughter even remarked she seemed more spry. Margaret's example underlines a crucial reality. You don't need to replace your entire menu. Introducing lentils incrementally might not cure severe arthritis overnight, but the cumulative effect can be substantial. She began modestly, reaped tangible improvements in her mobility, and found a more natural way to lessen dependence on pain pills. Transition to next food: chickpeas. Let's move forward to the second nutritional juggernaut. While lentils are powerful, chickpeas bring their own special arsenal to reduce joint throbbing and possibly fortify your heart. Often seen as that ingredient in hummus, chickpeas can do a lot more than you think. Chickpeas nutrient. Dense shield for your joints and heart, chickpeas can seem mundane if you only think of them as the base for hummus or a salad topping. Yet each little bean is packed with protein, fiber, polyphenols, and minerals that can target arthritic inflammation at its core. The real magic lies in how these nutrients work together to bring a sense of relief to stiff and irritated joints. First, chickpeas mirror lentils in their plant-based protein advantage. You get the tissue-building amino acids your muscles need without the inflammatory baggage linked to red meat. This is vital for those who find that heavier animal proteins exacerbate their discomfort or raise their cholesterol. Now let's talk about polyphenols, the compounds in chickpeas acting as antioxidants. These molecules neutralize free radicals, unstable elements in the body that can inflame and degrade cells. If you already struggle with joint swelling, reducing free radical damage can ease daily pain and guard against further tissue breakdown. Vitamin C is another major perk found in chickpeas. This nutrient helps your body produce collagen, a structural protein that cushions the space between bones. In the absence of sufficient collagen, joint surfaces grind together, painfully intensifying arthritic stiffness. So with each scoop of chickpeas, you're subtly reinforcing that protective padding. Magnesium also features prominently in chickpeas. Tense muscles can worsen arthritic pain by tugging on tender joints. By supporting muscle relaxation, adequate magnesium intake can lower the risk of those vicious flare-ups that ruin your morning or disrupt your sleep. Fiber is critical in the fight against inflammation because it helps even out blood sugar levels. Rapid spikes in glucose can contribute to the release of inflammatory markers, but chickpeas' fiber content keeps those spikes in check. Over time, steadier glucose can translate to fewer aggravating episodes of arthritic swelling. If you think chickpeas are boring, you haven't tried their versatility. Most of us know hummus, but these beans can do so much more. You can roast them with cumin and paprika for a snack that crushes cravings for chips. They can be tossed into salads, stews, or even whipped into a spicy curry. Those who like a touch of crunch can bake chickpeas in the oven with olive oil and herbs. It's a savory, protein-rich alternative to processed snacks that might be teeming with unhealthy fats or chemicals. This quick swap often benefits folks who have both arthritis and heart concerns because you're lowering harmful fats while gaining important minerals. Another hidden angle is how chickpeas being high in fiber can promote a healthier gut microbiome. Research published in the British Journal of Nutrition 2019 shows that a balanced gut environment can reduce systemic inflammation, which helps your joints and potentially your heart. The good bacteria flourish when fed prebiotic fibers, and chickpeas fit this requirement perfectly. Budget and availability matter too. Chickpeas are inexpensive, and canned versions can be found in nearly any supermarket aisle. If you choose canned, simply rinse them to reduce sodium. Otherwise, dried chickpeas can be cooked in larger batches at home, saving you money and providing enough leftovers for lunches or dinners throughout the week. Transition to next food: tofu. You may be thinking lentils and chickpeas make sense, but tofu? Yes, tofu is the final star in this trifecta. And for arthritis, it's often the unrecognized champion in the grocery store aisle. Tofu, the complete protein that eases joints and supports heart health. Derived from soybeans, tofu is one of the few plant-based foods considered a complete protein. That means it contains all 9 essential amino acids your body needs for tissue repair and growth. If joint pain is holding you back, you definitely want to help your muscles stay strong and supportive. But tofu offers more than just protein. It's also a source of omega-3 fatty acids, which are usually associated with fish like salmon or sardines. These fats help reduce the production of inflammatory compounds in the body, a cornerstone for managing chronic arthritis and keeping blood vessels healthier. Calcium is another reason tofu belongs in your cart. Strong bones mean better joint stability. Osteoarthritis in particular is exacerbated when bones become frail. For those avoiding dairy, tofu is a convenient calcium alternative that can shore up bone density. Some tofu is even fortified with vitamin D, which collaborates with calcium to optimize bone and joint health. This vitamin also helps modulate the immune system. In chronic inflammatory conditions, that's exactly what you want: an immune system that does its job without running amok and attacking your tissues. Isoflavones found in soy lend tofu an extra protective edge. These compounds have been examined in multiple studies. See a 2021 article in the Journal of Rheumatology for their potential in easing joint stiffness and swelling. Though not a magic bullet, isoflavones support the body's natural repair processes, often leading to steady improvements in comfort and mobility. For anyone unsure about tofu's taste, consider that it's practically a flavor chameleon. By itself, tofu is neutral, but marinated in garlic, lemon juice, soy sauce, or spices, and it transforms into a savory powerhouse that can be baked, stir-fried, or grilled. Silken tofu can be blended into soups or smoothies for added creaminess without the saturated fats of heavy creams. Additionally, tofu's adaptability gives you creative license to replace less healthy foods. Swapping meat heavy in saturated fat for tofu can lessen your risk of aggravating inflammation or clogging arteries. Plus, tofu is easy to find in different textures, from silken to extra firm, so you can choose the best form for your recipe. Affordability is another. Plus, you don't need a fancy store to locate tofu. Most standard groceries keep it in stock. A single block can serve multiple meals. If stored correctly, it can last several days in your fridge, letting you experiment with different dishes throughout the week. Concerned about soy controversies, you might have heard reliable research, such as an extensive 2020 review in the Journal of the American Heart Association, indicates moderate soy consumption is safe for most people and can even provide heart benefits. Still, always consult your physician if you have unique concerns such as hormone-sensitive conditions. Your joints won't fix themselves overnight, but tofu can be a cornerstone in a broader effort to scale back arthritic flares, improve muscle support, and protect your heart. Each meal that includes it brings you one step closer to regaining control of your health. With that, we conclude our trifecta of plant-based champions: lentils, chickpeas, and tofu. The fear factor revisited. Arthritis is more than a dull ache. It's a ticking time bomb that can gradually whittle away your mobility, independence, and overall quality of life. If you stay passive, you risk letting that quiet inflammation spread to the vascular system, possibly leading to heart complications. The scariest part is how quickly it can escalate when you're not paying attention. One day, you're skipping a short walk, and the next you could be in the emergency room. It might sound daunting, but the silver lining is how small dietary changes can yield massive results. Don't be the person who says, "If only I'd known." This script is your warning and your call to action. 7-day checklist for pain, relief, and heart resilience. To ensure you take immediate steps, here's a 7-day checklist you can share with friends, coworkers, or anyone who needs a quick, achievable framework. It's designed to be simple enough to stick to, but robust enough to notice meaningful improvements. 1-day 1. Lentils. Add half a cup of cooked lentils to lunch, e.g. in a soup or on a salad. Observe how your body feels within a few hours. Energy levels, satiety, and joint twinges. 2-day 2. Chickpeas. Swap out any regular snack for roasted chickpeas, seasoned with olive oil, salt, and paprika. Pay attention to reduced cravings and potential improvements in joint stiffness. 3-day 3. Tofu. Cook extra firm. Tofu marinated in garlic and herbs. Pair it with steamed vegetables. Use this dinner to cut back on heavier red meats and note if your joints feel less inflamed the next morning. 4-day 4. Magnesium focus. Incorporate spinach or kale with your lentils or chickpeas. Aim to get that magnesium synergy. Journal any differences in your pain levels or sleep quality. 5-day 5. Vitamin C boost. Add bell peppers, tomatoes, or a small glass of orange juice alongside your plant-based protein. Assist collagen formation to cushion your joints. 6-day 6. Omega-3. Check if you consume tofu. Remember that it provides some beneficial fatty acids. You can also add ground flax seeds or walnuts to your meal for an extra push. 7-day 7. Assessment day. Reflect on changes in flexibility, pain intensity, or swelling. Check your mood and energy. Determine which of these foods you'll continue to incorporate regularly and how often. At the end of the week, share your experiences in the comments or with loved ones. Spreading the word not only helps others but reinforces your own commitment to better health. After all, accountability often creates the drive for lasting transformation. 24-hour challenge. For those who think 7 days is too long, here's a 24-hour test. Pick one meal, lunch or dinner, and go entirely plant-based with lentils, chickpeas, or tofu as your main protein. In a single day, see if you notice fewer spikes in pain or more consistent energy. While one day won't resolve chronic issues, it may open your eyes to how powerful a simple swap can be. Call to comment. Have you ever noticed this sign? Comment, "I feel it," if you relate. "I'm safe" if not. And add a question for the doctor. Share this video with someone who needs that extra push to reclaim their health, because you never know who might be on the brink of a serious flare-up or worse. Why this matters for the heart as well as the joints. By now it should be clear that arthritic pain isn't an isolated problem. Chronic inflammation can set the stage for everything from high blood pressure to arterial plaque. According to the American Heart Association 2020 guidelines, individuals with chronic inflammatory conditions like rheumatoid arthritis face higher risks of heart issues if they don't address that inflammation. These 3 foods offer nutrients that not only calm your joints, but also stabilize factors like blood pressure, cholesterol, and endothelial function. The health of your blood vessel linings. Harvard T.H. Chan, School of Public Health. 2020 update points to plant-based diets as having a protective effect on heart health, in large part due to reduced intake of saturated fats and increased ingestion of fiber, antioxidants, and key minerals. Scientific explanation of the connection. 1. Inflammatory cytokines. In arthritic conditions, the body often produces extra cytokines, small proteins that either ramp up or reduce inflammation. When these cytokines spiral out of balance, the inflammatory signals can impact arterial walls, leading to a higher likelihood of plaque formation. 2. Oxidative stress, free radicals, damage cells fostering inflammation in multiple tissues. Plant foods like lentils, chickpeas, and tofu come loaded with antioxidants that quench these radicals, slowing or stopping the cycle of tissue injury. 3. Blood pressure, elevated sodium intake combined with low magnesium or potassium can spike your blood pressure. Lentils and chickpeas help rid excess sodium, while tofu's minerals can help keep blood pressure readings in a safer zone. 4. Blood sugar spikes, uncontrolled glucose levels lead to a surge in inflammatory molecules, intensifying arthritic pain. The high fiber in these plant-based proteins mitigates those glucose surges, thereby potentially minimizing further damage to blood vessels and joints. 5. Lipids and cholesterol, saturated and trans fats found in some meats or processed foods can worsen both arthritic and cardiovascular conditions. Replacing these meats with healthier proteins often leads to improved lipid profiles. Lower LDL bad cholesterol and stable HDL good cholesterol, which is essential for heart protection. Never abandon prescribed care. Before we continue, a critical disclaimer: always consult your physician before making any radical change in diet or discontinuing medications. I am not suggesting you throw out your prescribed arthritis meds or ignore medical advice. Think of these foods as complementary tools that work alongside a treatment plan to enhance your well-being, not as a replacement for professional care. Action plan and next steps. 1. Shopping lists. Start with a simple list: lentils, chickpeas, tofu, fresh vegetables, and some healthy spices like turmeric or ginger. If you prefer convenience, go for canned beans, rinsed or pre-cooked lentils in vacuum packs. Choose extra firm tofu for a meaty texture or silken tofu for soups. 2 meal targets: aim for at least 1 meal a day, featuring one of these plant-based proteins. Try pairing them with varied veggies, whole grains, or healthy fats. Olive oil, avocado for a balanced approach. 3. Follow-up schedule. Keep a small notebook or use a phone app to log your meals and your pain levels each day for 2 weeks. Note changes in stiffness, swelling, or range of motion. If you have a blood pressure monitor, check your readings regularly to spot any improvements. 4. Consult your physician. If you see positive shifts, chat with your healthcare provider. Sometimes adjusting your broader treatment plan, like reducing certain pain medications or exploring new therapies, makes sense if your inflammation markers are trending down. Remember, no step should be taken without that professional input. 5. Involve family or friends. Chronic conditions improve when you have social support. Cook together, share recipes, or hold each other accountable for the 7-day checklist. That synergy can amplify the benefits you experience and make the dietary transition more enjoyable. Case study, or 3. Louis, 60, delivery driver. Louis spent decades driving a delivery truck, hauling heavy packages, and climbing in and out of the vehicle. His knees started acting up by age 50, but he pushed through using painkillers. Unbeknownst to him, he was also developing borderline high blood pressure and an erratic cholesterol profile, all fueling hidden inflammatory fires. When a severe flare-up forced him to miss work, Louis realized he had to make some changes. He began substituting lentils and chickpeas for part of his usual meat-heavy meals. After several months, not only had his knee pain diminished, but he also recorded improved blood pressure readings at his doctor's office. His physician, impressed by the outcome, encouraged him to continue with additional lifestyle changes, such as moderate exercise and stress management. Today, Louis can perform his job with significantly reduced discomfort, and he's steering clear of the higher heart risks that once loomed over him. Toxic excuses busting common myths. 1. I'm too old to change. In reality, changes to diet at any age can have a meaningful effect on inflammation and heart health. Whether you're 40 or 80, your body continuously regenerates cells, which means better nutrition at any stage can yield benefits. 2. Plant proteins won't keep me full. This belief overlooks the high fiber in legumes and tofu. Fiber promotes satiety, making you feel full longer than simple carbs or sugary snacks. 3. It's too expensive. A bag of dried lentils or chickpeas often costs less than a fast food meal. Tofu is often cheaper per pound than meat, especially if you buy it on sale. 4. It takes too much time to cook. Many chickpea or lentil dishes can be cooked in 20-30 minutes. Tofu can be marinated quickly or pan-seared in under 15 minutes. With the help of batch cooking, you can prepare multiple meals at once, saving time on busy weekdays. 5. I need real medicine, not veggies. Medications have their place, especially for advanced cases. However, integrating nutrition can boost the effectiveness of existing therapies, sometimes reducing the need for higher doses under medical supervision. Reinforcing the Stop Arthritis, Pain, and Block Heart Attacks message. Remember, the video's central theme is more than just controlling arthritis. It's about preventing the ripple effect that leads from chronic inflammation to heart attacks. We've highlighted 3 potent foods, but the bigger takeaway is that your day-to-day meal choices have the power to nourish your joints and safeguard your cardiovascular system simultaneously. Each bite can either fan the flames of inflammation or help extinguish them. Consider the sobering statistic from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. CDC 2019 data showing that adults with arthritis are more likely to report heart disease than those without arthritis. This correlation underscores the urgent need to rein in the factors that accelerate inflammation. Lentils, chickpeas, and tofu can be your first line of defense if you use them consistently and strategically. Additional tips to maximize results. Stay hydrated. Proper hydration supports joint lubrication and aids in flushing out inflammatory byproducts. Decurmashorn, moderate exercise. Gentle activities like swimming, yoga, or even slow-paced walks strengthen muscles that support joints. Always consult your physician if you plan a new workout routine. Manage stress. Elevated stress hormones can trigger inflammatory responses. Techniques like deep breathing or short meditative breaks may provide relief. Limit added sugars. Sugary snacks or drinks can cause blood sugar spikes, compounding inflammation. Rotate your choices. You don't have to stick to just one of these proteins. Mix and match. Some days focus on lentils, other days on chickpeas or tofu. Variety ensures a broader range of micronutrients. The power of community. If you found relief with these tips, consider starting a mini support group online or in person. Invite friends, relatives, or neighbors dealing with similar issues. Exchange recipes, keep each other inspired, and set collective goals. The synergy of a like-minded community often sustains positive changes longer than solitary efforts. Call to comment reminder. Have you ever noticed this sign? Comment, I feel it, if you relate, I'm safe if not, and add a question for the doctor. Share your stories about introducing lentils, chickpeas, or tofu into your meals. Your feedback might spark someone else's journey toward better health. Final word on safety and holistic care. No single food can replace expert medical advice or medication. The best results arise when you integrate nutritious foods into a treatment plan devised with your healthcare provider. Arthritis can escalate quickly, so if you notice alarming symptoms like heightened pain that immobilizes you, reach out to medical professionals immediately. These options are a proactive approach to complement your standard treatments, not an excuse to ditch them. Conclusion 3. Rapid-fire takeaways. Plant power lentils, chickpeas, and tofu each deliver muscle-building protein and inflammation-fighting nutrients. Heart connection, chronic inflammation from arthritis can fuel cardiovascular issues. These foods curb that danger by supplying essential minerals and antioxidants. Long-term consistency. Regular repeated intake rather than sporadic use yields the greatest improvements in joint function, pain relief, and heart health. Invitation to like, subscribe, share, and comment. If you found even a sliver of insight here, please tap the like button. Your support helps us continue sharing vital health information. Be sure to hit subscribe and ring the notification bell so you never miss another crucial update. And don't forget, sharing is caring. Spread this video with someone who needs a wake-up call about preventing arthritis pain and heart troubles. Question with an open question. Now I want to hear from you. What small step will you commit to this week to combat arthritis and protect your heart? Let's keep the conversation going, and I'll see you in the comments.